Good morning students. Today we will discuss about the different effects on the supply curve. Okay. As in earlier video we discussed about the law of supply, then movement and shift in supply curve. Okay. Now we will discuss the effect of technology. Effect of technology on supply curve, input price. Effect of input price on supply curve, GST and supply curve. Means what will be the effect of GST on supply? Okay. So all these we will discuss with the help of diagram. Okay. So on O axis we will take supply, horizontal axis. On OY axis we will show price. As we know that when we discuss about the other effects or determinants of supply curve, then we assume that price of the commodity will remain constant. Okay, means price of the commodity constant. It means price is like this only. It is parallel to O axis. Okay, this is the price. So this is our supply curve. Okay. So firstly we will discuss the effect of technology. Okay. If there is improved technology or modern technology is used in the process of production, then there is low cost of production. Okay. Low cost of production means if there is low cost of production, then producer will supply more, and if producer will supply more, then supply curve shift forward. It becomes axis 1. Okay. Forward shift. If improved or modern technology is used in the process of production, then there is low cost of production, and low cost of production means the producer will supply more quantity of the goods and supply curve shift forward. Okay, so this is the effect of technology on supply curve. Okay, due to change in technology or improvement in technology, supply curve shift forward. The next is input price. Okay, if input price increase, then there is high cost of production. Input price means factor of production. Okay, and factor, what are the factor of production? Land, labor, capital. If these are high in cost, or we can say that price of factor of production is more, then there is high cost of production. High cost of production means the producer will supply less. So the supply curve shift backward. Okay. So here we will discuss this. The supply and price remain same, means on O axis we are showing supply and on OY axis we are showing price. This remains the same, and this is our supply curve. This is our supply curve as and if there is high factor of production or more price of factor of production, high price of factor of production, then it means high cost of factor of production. High cost of production. High cost of production means the producer will supply less. So the supply curve shift backward. It becomes axis 1. Axis 1. So supply curve shift backward due to high cost of, or we can say more price of factor of production. If there is low price of factor of production, it means low price of factor of production means low cost of production. Low cost of production means producer will supply more quantity. Then the supply curve shift forward. It shift forward. And supply curve shift become SF2, SS2. So due to change in price, or we can say due to high cost of production, producer will supply less because the factor of production are high in cost. And if there is low price of factor of production, then there is low cost of production, the producer will supply more, than the supply curve shift forward. Okay. The next is GST and supply curve. GST means goods and services tax. Okay, it is important on the value of the goods. If there is GST on the goods, then means tax on the goods, then the cost of the goods increase. Due to increase in the cost of the good, there is less supply of the goods. For example, firstly, as this is our supply curve, okay, and if more GST, or we can say GST is imposed on the goods, then there is increase in the cost of production, and due to increase in the cost of production means producer will supply less at the same price. As we have assumed that our price is constant, so we will supply less at same price. Okay, so the producer will supply less and it shifts backward. Okay, so due to GST, supply curve shift backward. There is less supply of good at the same price. Now the next is subsidy. Subsidy. A subsidy is given by the government to the producer. So if there is subsidy, then the producer will supply more at the same price. Subsidy. So if there is subsidy on the goods, then a producer will supply more at the same price. Okay. So this is our supply curve. And now there is subsidy is given to the producer, then the producer will supply more goods at the same price. So the supply curve shift forward. It becomes SS1. Okay? Because producer is supplying more quantity of goods at the same price due to subsidy. Subsidy is given by the government to the producer on the production. Okay? The next is price of other goods. Price of other goods. And what are other goods? In other goods, we include two types of goods: substitute goods and complementary goods. So substitute goods, we will take the example of substitute goods like tea and coffee. Okay? There is two goods, tea and coffee, and price of tea increase, then the producer of coffee will supply less at the same price. Okay? So the supply curve, for example, our supply curve is SS, and there is increase in the price of tea. Due to increase in the price of tea, producer of coffee will supply less at the same price. So the supply curve shift SS1 backward. Because increase in the price of tea, coffee producer is willing to supply less at the same price. Okay? Or otherwise he will supply more at the higher price. But our price remain constant. There is no change in the price. Only we are discussing the other effects. Okay? Expect price. So price we have assumed constant, and other effects means due to increase in the price of tea, what is the effect on coffee? The producer of coffee will supply less at the same price. And if there is fall in the price of tea, if price of tea fall or decrease, then the coffee producer will supply more at the same price. So it shifts forward. Okay. So this is the effect of price of related goods. Due to change in the price of related good, there is change in the supply of the commodity. Like price of tea increase, then the coffee producer is willing to supply less at the same price. So the supply curve shifts backward, and if the price of the tea decrease, then the coffee producer is supplying more at the same price. So supply curve shift forward. It becomes SS2. Okay. So this is our other effects on the supply curve. In other effects, we have discussed technology, that what is the effect of technology on the supply curve. Due to improvement in technology, there is low cost of factor of production. Low cost of factor of production production means more supply of goods. Then input price, if there is high price, if input prices are high, it means there is high cost of production. High cost of production means less supply of a commodity. The next is subsidy. Subsidy means if government gives subsidy to the producer, then he will supply more quantity at the same price, and if there is tax on the goods, then the producer will supply less at the same price, and other price we have discussed. So these are the other effects on supply curve. Okay. So students, watch the video. Also practice as diagram in your notebook. If any query, any doubt, you are free to ask. Thank you students.